Yo, hello everybody. Welcome to the Triple T for Knife Makers podcast. And Jerid is a jerk, as usual, trying to mess with me. I am your host, Denis Tyrell Knifeworks, and I have my goofball friend, Jerid Sandoval of Echo Blades. And
What?
we haven't even spoken, it's been like 6 days or something, at least.
Yeah, I think we had a one FaceTime call and then like a quick check-in over the weekend, but it was me
Yeah,
basically calling to bust your balls.
right. That's right. We didn't have an episode last week, so this one might be a long one.
Yeah. And then our sincere apologies for our 7 people that were, forced to sit in silence because I know they don't support any other podcast, like some dedicated listeners.
Well, I was with one of those listeners, so
Yeah.
there was only 6 that were missing me.
Yeah. And I was with one too, so 5.
That's right.
I was
That's
with
right.
2. I was with 2. So shit. All right. Anyways, but yes, sorry guys that we weren't able to put that one together, but sometimes it bees that way.
I thought about it just as I was packing. I thought maybe just in case I'll throw the mic, and then I'm like, oh, my suitcase was heavy enough with all the shit that I brought, so I didn't. Made the audible and said no, and it was probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But so you left when? Do we want to do this chronologically, day by day? What? Where do you want to start?
I don't know. At the beginning is a good place, but yeah, I left Sunday morning at 3:30 a.m.
All right, so I had a couple days on you, so I'm going to go first.
Go ahead.
So it would have been a week ago Friday. I left for Washington, and it was like a noonish flight. So I got there. I had about it was almost a 2-hour drive to Kalama, which is it's about an hour and 15 south of the airport, but traffic was stupid, and there was 2 accidents, so it took me over 2 hours.
What airport?
What?
What airport?
The SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma Airport.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I was going down there to see Steve Lockhart, who is longtime viewer of mine and a fan, and also listener of the podcast, and also my maker spotlight for tonight. But we'll get into that. Yeah, Steve heard that I was going to be up with Mareko and Dave, so he asked me to teach a guard and handle class. So I got to tell you, the first thing, as soon as I got there, he has the most beautiful home because it's way up on a hill and it looks over the Columbia River. He has this amazing view of the Columbia River. It was spectacular.
Nice.
So yeah, really nice. And so it was cool. I got to say, it was a little weird teaching. It's the first time I've ever had to teach something in somebody else's shop. So that was a little weird.
Yeah, that sounds like that could be a little weird.
Yeah, just not knowing, because I made sure I brought everything that I needed for the course, and just using someone else's saw and someone else's drill press, and but he did all the work. It was great. I just do this, do that, and he did all the work, which was great. But yeah, things went so fast. So I had him prep 2 knives, a Bowie and a chef knife for the guards, and we all but finished the first knife, slotted the guard, shaped the guard, slotted the handle, shaped the handle, had pretty much everything done except for glue up on the first day.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. He was going so fast. But yeah, as soon as I walked in the door, I will say there was 2 big boxes of Voodoo donuts on the counter.
Nice.
But it was early morning, and I said, "Oh no, maybe we'll have some of those later, like at lunch or something like that." So I didn't even open them, and then it was at lunch that we busted them open, and I found the cock and balls.
Yeah, buddy.
So yeah, I almost managed to finish the cock and balls, but I got down to the balls and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, same. It's quite the task. It's not it's, it's not as pleasurable as you guys might think.
But that was really nice of him to go and get those. And
Yeah, I gotta say too, I got a message from him that like, I had no context to it. Like I think he was kind of saying something along the lines is like, I hope the voodoo's not out of cock and balls, and I just I wasn't there, Steve. So my fault on that. But because I was like, I did that last time I was, but I didn't even put it together that he had got you a cock and balls. So my bad. I missed that one. That went right over my fucking head.
Jerid was asleep when you texted him that.
Yeah. But when I saw the video, I must say, Mr. Tyrell, I was beaming with pride in the fact that you ate it, B, you fucking took a picture and you were laughing and having a good time because sometimes you scare me because you're a little conservative in that realm, buddy. But I loved it, man. I laughed my ass off. Even Lynn texted me a screenshot of the thing, and she's like, "What the fuck is this going on?" I go, "I don't know, but I am fucking proud."
Even
Look at that cock gobbler go.
even Kim said, she goes, you know that post you just did on Instagram also went to Facebook, and she was all concerned, and I was like,
Yeah,
man.
it was great.
Yeah, but it was really nice of him. He had lunch ready for us. Both days he made me dinner
Oh, that's
Saturday
cool.
night, so he was a great host. So
That's awesome.
thanks, Steve, and he sent me off with like, geez, I think it was almost 5 pounds of smoked salmon.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, really, really good smoked salmon too.
Good.
Most of it's gone, and I gave one to Dave, one to Morocco, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
it was a
awesome.
really fun class with Dave. Sorry, with Steve, and he was a great student. I think his knife turned out
I was
amazing.
just about to say that thing was freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, like that handle is as nice as any handle I've done on a knife. Like the
Yeah,
shaping of it, he did a really, really good job, and he
yeah,
excellent choice on the colors.
yeah.
It was like
That's the
a
blue one, right?
yeah, the
Yeah,
blue tiger maple with brass pins and brass guard. It really set the knife off. I think it looked amazing.
yeah. It looked great.
Yeah, and it was super fun. So it was great. I had a good time.
Cool. Yeah, I've had a few conversations with him. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's cool. Awesome.
yeah. So and
And
that got me right to Sunday night, and I was driving up to Morocco's, which is probably about the time you got on the plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, not so. Well, I guess. Yeah, it was just a early flight. I think we flew out at like 6. So
Oh, 6 in the morning Sunday.
6 in the, yeah, I was
Oh yeah.
yeah, we left my house at 3:30 in the morning on Sunday morning.
Oh
So it was a extremely early flight.
yeah. That was me coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, 'cause you were I can't explain what means, but it perfectly described old
Yeah,
freaking
that's the
old
way I
man
felt.
Tyrell sitting at the airport like,
Uh,
Yeah. Well,
so what did you do? You got there Sunday. Did you
I
just
got
like
there
stay
Sunday.
there?
The plan was to get there. We landed in Texas around like 11 o'clock, and originally the plan was to hook up with Eric Rivers from the Rivers Experience.
Know Eric very well.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he had something come up on Friday or Saturday to where he had to go somewhere with the family on Sunday, and he wasn't available. So that didn't work out. That was a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Things happen, and so I did contemplate going to Micah's like I did last time, and just going up for a few hours and then shooting back. But it's not it's like an hour and a half ish drive from the airport over there. But then that would have put us back super late. And we had to get ready for our class and stuff on Monday. So that didn't work out. I opted against it, and kind of it was cool because I got to do some running around. But man, so I had rented a car because generally this was a work trip predominantly, right? So the the things I needed the car for were for me, right? For personal use. Um, Minus like an Uber back to the hotel and back and stuff like that. But the way the class is set up pretty cool. The hotel has a pretty decent breakfast in the morning. The class fed me lunch, and then there is like some crappy buffet type little dinner that is available at the hotel every night. So, and then there's a shuttle that takes us from the hotel to the class every day. So there really isn't a need for the
So
for a
the
car.
company didn't pay for your car. That's what you're
Yeah,
telling me.
yeah. So I would, and that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, because so I was like,
Mhm.
well, shit, I want to go see Eric, um, and then I had to go to Micah's on Friday. So I rented a car, and which I thought was going to be just say $500, not a big deal. Um, and then I would have the car for the week. But then when Eric kind of shifted on us, um, and then long story short, I ended up paying a fucking shit ton of money for this car. Like I read the quote, I thought there was a deposit included in it, and it was it
Eight
was
hundred bucks.
it was $800 fucking dollars
That's what mine was.
plus, and I was just like, I just, so, um, apparently car rentals have gone up since last time I did that for a week. But either way, it was a moment where I had to be an adult and not lose my shit at the counter for the car rental because I really wanted to, but it all worked out. But that leads me to my next story, and that is that as courteous, polite, and Texans overall, my experience has been, Southern hospitality, yes sir, no sir, hold the door, like just how they kind of act in public and in restaurants and stuff like that, and all the interactions I had. You can throw all that shit out the fucking window when they
You're,
get behind
we're going to get all kinds of Texas hate mail now.
when they get behind the guy, the a car, a steering wheel.
Oh,
Holy shit, they're fucking animals. Dennis, I swear, you know where we live. We know how
yeah.
people drive around here. No, it's like cake, like a walk through Disneyland
What,
here,
like aggressive drivers? What do you mean?
bro. They don't. I mean, I apparently blinkers. They're like blinker blind. They don't see them. They don't use them. They're coming over. They don't give a shit if you're there. They're not letting you in, like trying to go. And the car rental thing isn't really about the money. It's about the I didn't buy this toll pass thing. So they have like a toll system where you can like our
Mhm.
fast track thing. But if you get on the toll, they charge you like a crazy amount of dollars. But I was so pissed off about the money thing that I was dealing with. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Until I was trying to like fucking get out of a lane that was going to push me into this toll lane, and these motherfuckers would not let me over, man. It was the speed limits. So on a 2-lane road out here in the country, what's our speed limit?
55 usually.
Yeah, 75.
Holy fuck. It's not even 75 on I-5.
75, dude. And I'm just cruising, not paying attention. I'm like lost looking at how beautiful the countryside is and shit. Dude, oh man, it was hilarious, man. I never felt so like out of my element until I was behind the wheel of the car. And I got to see what, a different side of, what Texas has to offer, man. Those motherfuckers are in a rush.
Which is very unlike what I typically think of Texas.
Same, dude. Same. I was blown away, man. And maybe I was being a bitch, but it was still like, I was just kind of daydreaming down there, and uh, I tend to drive. I stopped speeding and being in a rush, like for my own personal sanity, with not participating in, just the road rage things and all that. Like I said, for my own personal things, but dude, I couldn't. It was a trip. 75 on a 2-lane road, 70 miles an hour, like almost everywhere. But yeah, I laughed my ass off. I mean, a couple times I got a little irritated, but then I realized where I was, and they probably had something I didn't in the car, and that's probably in my interest not to act like
Yeah.
an ass. So, but yeah, that was funny,
Hmm.
and interesting. It was a different take that I had not expected, to say the least. So
Yeah. It was nice driving around Washington. No issues,
nice.
except for the rain. It rained like, except for Tuesday. No, it rained every single day I was there. And the sun came out like Tuesday the most. I think it got up to like 70 degrees, 71 degrees on Tuesday. Other than that, it was like pouring down rain almost every day. Yeah. So
Yeah, I got a excuse me. I have a thing in here that Texas spring it's bipolar, like 100%. I think Jeff Carey, who I ended up hanging out with and having dinner with, mentioned he's like, yeah, man, if you come to Texas and you don't like the weather, just hang on for 10 minutes.
yeah.
And I hadn't heard that before, but it was like reasonably like a 60-degree days, sun out, really beautiful. And then we had like 3 big ass thunderstorms. And then it got windy as hell. I saw more lightning in last week than I've seen here in the past 10, 15 years. Easy. Like
Well, that's
I
because you're from California. We don't really have electrical storms here.
Yeah, I know. That's the point of me not being able to haven't seen it in 15 years. It was like, whoa! Like the whole sky, like the way it was happening was crazy. They had like a hailstorm in there. I got like an Amber Alert thing on my phone saying that we were about to get baseball sized hail coming down. Um, and then the kind of skipping ahead here, but the only day that it was 87 was the day that I was forging. So that was cool. But I ate a lot of good food. Had some barbecue. I did go to the Texas Roadhouse in Texas.
Oh,
Mm, uh,
is it the same?
it's exactly the same.
Uh,
Apparently they made some change to where they don't throw the peanut shells on the ground anymore though.
oh, really?
Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that, but
I haven't been there in a few years. I don't know if they changed it everywhere.
yeah, I don't know. It's been a while for me too, but we wanted a steak and we were kind of like, yeah. My experience with steakhouses is that the good ones are often overpriced and subpar, right? So I go to Texas Roadhouse. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a decent, mediocre, like the
Sure.
middle of the road steak that's going to be good and it's not too expensive. And so that's what we had, and it was good. But I was just like, yeah, I'm in Texas at the Texas Roadhouse. It's just like home.
That's like going to a Taco Bell in Mexico.
No, it's completely different, dude. Because they don't have them there. Not to be confused with the Texas Steakhouse in Texas.
Oh,
Entirely different, but it's a chain just like that. So, but yeah, that was cool.
yeah.
Uh,
So
I want to hear about Morocco though.
yeah.
I'll get into my shit.
Sunday night, or Sunday dinner, like 5 o'clock, I head up to Morocco's, which is like an hour drive back to Olympia. Of course, it's pissing down rain the entire drive. And I'm texting him the whole way, like, hey, just we're figuring out because he's going to meet me for dinner, and I suggested, I know he's a pool player, so I suggested we go shoot some pool, and he was game for that. So we met at this little brewery and had some pretty good pizza, and then we headed down and we shot some pool for a couple hours, and that was really cool, just to hang out and chit chat, and we talked about business and the business of knife making and stuff like that over dinner, and then just kind of shot the shit over pool. I will say, and Mareko, if you're listening, I did expect you to be better at pool. I got to say, he was pretty good. But I mean, I've heard him say like he's in a league and all of this, and I was like, I thought I was going to get my ass handed to me, but I beat him the first 2 games, and I'm like, you better show up, Mareko. But he did come back and win the next 2. So we ended up tying. I don't know why we left without finishing that, but at least it'll give us something to do the next time, and we'll have
Nice.
a rematch.
Nice. Yeah, y'all can't be as good as me and just
Right.
run the table for 4 games in a row or whatever it was.
Yeah, right. When slop counts, Jerid's a
Hey,
master.
that's right, buddy. It all counts as a W.
Yeah. Um, so that was cool. And then the next morning in his shop, um, and I'll be honest, I was a little apprehensive because the 2 days with Mareko it was, and I knew this going in, it's a theory course. We didn't touch any tools. We didn't turn on any grinders. It really was just a theory course about material flow and base patterns and, the way metal moves. And it was all about Damascus, right? It's all, and, and day one was like just some mind bending stuff, like some those aha moments when the first 2 hours I'm like, okay, this is amazing. Like it just told me so much more. And he showed, you think you have a lot of Jerided blades. Oh my God, you should see Mareko's shop.
Oh, I am so honored.
He showed me, he's like, oh yeah, I got this one, and I got this one, and I got this one, and I got this one. And I'm looking at it like at least 3 of them that I've got on the table, like from him in front of me. And I'm like, I cannot believe you haven't finished these knives yet.
Yeah.
And there's one that I'm going to do this pattern, this technique. And I believe that once I do a video on this technique, I think this thing is going to explode. I think everybody's going to be doing it. And there's one guy that you've seen do it a lot already, which is
Okay.
Gabe from Anchorage Forge.
Yep.
So there's a technique, and I'm basically using gradients in Damascus. I'm not going to go and explain all that because I don't think it's good entertainment over a podcast. But stay tuned. You're going to see videos of applying gradients to Damascus, and I think this is one of those game-changing techniques, because Mareko handed me a random pattern knife that he had made. And I looked at it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why does this look so amazing? And then he described it to me, and he showed me a pattern, of how he did it. And it's incredible. So of everything I took away from those 2 days with Mareko, that was one of the techniques and he hasn't finished a knife with this technique yet. Gabe
Wow.
has, and he's worked with Gabe on some of those patterns. But I think is really exciting stuff. So we talked about that. Just doing base patterns, calculating. You know how you can make an S
Yep.
So we just some crazy cool techniques on figuring out the S and where it ends up on your pattern. So really, really amazing stuff. We were brainstorming. I had an idea. Are you familiar with what a fractal is?
One more time?
A fractal. Do you know what a fractal is?
I do not.
So, okay, I'm going to test your food skills. Do you know what Romanesco is?
No.
Okay. It's the vegetable that's a cross between a cauliflower and a broccoli.
Okay.
Okay. It's not gonna, I'm trying to give you something that you would understand. But a fractal is something occurring in nature. It's something that is, if you zoom in on it, it's infinitely repeating. Okay, so I'll show you a picture of a fractal, and you'll get it. But
I'm looking it up. Okay. I get it. Yes, I'm seeing it.
okay, so you see what I mean. So
Yep.
I want to make a Damascus pattern that does that.
Okay.
So we were theorizing about how we could do a fractal Damascus pattern that just gets infinitely complex, at least approaching infinitely complex. So anyway, we talked about that. And then in day 2, we started dissecting patterns. He gave me some homework to go find some patterns, and we sat there and dissected them on the board and figured out what the base pattern was.
Like reverse engineered them.
Reverse engineered.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was really cool. We spent most of the day on Tuesday doing that and just talking about techniques and his updated etching process.
Time out. Before you continue, I just looked up fractal and see a bunch of pictures, and then one of them is like, "What is a simple term?" And it says that in math, a fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals
Mm-hmm.
are built by repeating something over and over again. Fractals may be created using numbers or images, but many fractals exist in nature, such as broccoli. Well explained, Mr. Tyrell. Thank you. I
Yeah.
was trying my best not to call you names for asking me what the fuck a cross between a broccoli and
Well,
cauliflower was, but it makes sense now.
well,
Vindicated.
broccoli is one, but Romanesco definitely looks, and the same with ferns are the same thing. They
Gotcha.
have that
Okay.
fractal pattern.
It
But
makes entirely good sense now that
yes,
after I'm seeing this.
yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
I think that would be cool. So I'm working on a fractal design for Damascus.
Gotcha.
But he went over his etching process, which is a slight change from the one that, like, basically something he just discovered in the last, like, I think it was like 3 months, that he added, which is a 30-second dip before. I got to look at my notes. I don't remember where in the sequence it is, but he does a 30-second dip in phosphoric acid. I think it's before the coffee, but I have to go back to my notes. But I want to try. I have to etch some Damascus tomorrow, so I will be trying out that pattern tomorrow. Or I mean that updated etching process. So there was like at least, you know, 3 or 4 like absolute gems that I took away from that course. That
Nice.
yeah, just amazing. And it's
What was it? What was it like to because for like me when we're talking, it's always in many realms. It's always you sharing the knowledge, the experience, and stuff like that. And I'm assuming that not that you're like all knowing or everything, but like it must have been a cool experience to be the sponge
yeah,
and
and it
like
was I mean, I knew a lot about, like, when he would talk about, oh, this is how we do C's and W's. I'm like,
I understand that.
I understood that, but so
I
there
get
was probably like it was mostly what the cool part about it was it felt like I was just hanging out with Mareko and we were just chit chatting for 2 days and discussing Damascus patterns, and then he'd go, oh yeah, here he'd drop a gem of like, here's how he does this technique, or
Yeah,
here's how he does.
we'll call it the sponge effect, but I'm
Yes,
telling you that when you get to experience the sponge effect of like, holy, like, when it gets your gears going and
yeah,
you're all kinds of inspired, and I think that's just a process that, invigorates and
yeah,
motivates and puts you in there, and I think it's cool. I like hearing that you got to have that experience from somebody. Not that you needed a refresher in how to make C's or W's, but just those small moments where I
absolutely.
kind of see like, oh, like
And
tell me more.
it was so like when I got back to the hotel room, I was there Monday, Tuesdays. When I got back to the hotel room Monday night, I sat down at the computer and designed that fractal pattern with, like, I was like obsessed. Like
Yeah,
there's no way I was going to be able to sleep without theorizing and getting something down on paper that I could talk to Mareko about Tuesday and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this technique? And yeah, it was really fun, and I felt like we did like an hour brainstorming session Tuesday of how we would make this pattern, what different techniques we would use. Maybe we do a jelly roll, maybe we do, well, la la la.
right.
But yeah, it was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
love it.
it's Marco's just a cool guy to hang out with. He's
He
so
is.
laid back, and he's just fun to talk to, and We went out for lunch both days, and it was great.
Yeah, no, that was cool. It was good to talk to him and see it when we did have that one quick conversation there. But you know what I know? If you don't have Denis Tyrell that lives 20 minutes from you, or Mareko as a teacher, and you like Damascus, you can simplify that process and go check our boys out at Baker Forged and Tool. They have some of the most bitchin' patterns out there all ready for you to use and turn into a knife and just get that money. This week, they dropped three what is it? Three legends in one drop. Copper My W core with Wild W Damascus Heart, Bronze My Damascus core with flashing diamond vibes, and Riptide Max in a dynamic ladder pattern. Those are all Koi's favorites, and they are probably gone by now. But if you go and check it out, you may be able to get that weird size that nobody wanted that you need. And when you do that, go ahead and load that card up with everything else they have, including Gator Piss and some of their other patterns and things that are available. They have cool starter packs for people that are, just wanting to get rolling on some intro pieces. But load that card up, use the discount code T10. That's TTT10. You could use the app for early access next week when they make their drop, and you can get 1 day early access than the website. And they did announce and give a date for, I think, sometime this month. We should be getting access to the new etchants, Gator Piss Max and Gator Piss Heavy. So keep an eye out for that and make sure you get on the pre-order or however they're going to do that. Yeah.
Gator Piss DN. Double
Yeah.
nipple.
Double nipple. That's right. They got to get both nipples out to get the max and do that, cha 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 cha. Like, yeah, it's not a normal process. So, yeah,
No.
that's pretty cool. So they did a bunch of content, and I don't know if they released the content, but they were shooting some content last week. So, yeah, make sure you go check them out, and use that discount code to save you some dollars.
What?
Do it.
One thing that Steve said when I was at Steve's place, he's like, "You're going to be up at near Dave's," and he goes, "You know, there's a lake up there called Lawrence Lake."
Love it.
So after I left Mareko, I checked into the hotel. I looked it up on map. 15 minutes from my hotel, because now I'm switching to the third hotel, right? And I'm in Yelm, which is whatever, half an hour from Mareko's place. I'm out near Dave's house, and I'm like, well, I got nothing to do. It's actually a nice day. Let's go check out Lawrence Lake.
Nice.
Only purely to get a picture of me beside a sign that said Lawrence Lake, and which I did. If you've seen on Instagram, so
yeah, it was cool. That was funny.
Yeah.
You have your own lake named after you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But if you need something from Mr. Lawrence Lake, go check him out at Maritime Knife Supply. Go see the original Lawrence Lake and get yourself some steel, some abrasives, some handle material, tooling, you name it. Or if you just want to say hi to Lawrence, go to Maritime Knife Supply. Oh, and folder supplies. Don't forget those.
That's right.
So go check out Maritime Knife Supply for all of your knife making needs.
That's right. And don't forget that in 1997, Lawrence took off from the free throw line and dunked MJ style. And
With Crocs on.
With Crocs on. And Bobby from Reaper Manufacturing has a documented, certified, actual picture of him flying through the air in real deal.
Yeah.
So that's where, just simply because of that, that's where I go to get all my knife making needs or stuff, items. I get all my knife making needs from Lawrence because he dunked.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
I got to say, Yelm is the prettiest little town. Yelm, which is east of Olympia, which is south of Seattle. Prettiest little town.
So you're mid Washington, Midwest.
I'm still just south of like 45 minutes from the airport.
Yeah, but Seattle's like in the middle on the west, right? On the coast.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So it's
you're
just south of there. Yeah.
gotcha.
Just south there. But beautiful. That I actually I kind of expected the way Dave said, "Hey, I guess you're staying at the Prairie Hotel. It's the only one in town." I expected it to be a shithole. It was by far the nicest hotel of the three.
Oh,
Like
nice.
really, really nice hotel. Nice big room, microwave, fridge, the whole deal. It was really nice. But yeah, then and that little
Mm.
area, like Dave's shop, Dave Mastersmith, Dave Lish is 15 minutes from there through the countryside. I'm telling you, I would move there in a second. It was so beautiful driving through, like, like when you drive through and like the trees are like over
Yeah.
the brook. It was like that everywhere.
Nice.
It was so pretty,
Nice.
nice and green, and
You tell
animals
me,
everywhere.
yeah, you hear me every time we travel somewhere. It's so green.
But I haven't been to that many shops, but Jerid, I mean, holy fuck, you should see Dave's shop. Like, oh my God. That man, not only does he have every tool imaginable, he's got at least three of each one.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he's got three power hammers. One is a 375-pound ram.
Okay.
Beautiful power hammer. So much fun to use. He's got another one that's a 165, and then he's got a little giant that I think it's like 100-pound little giant or something like that.
Okay.
The man has not just a grinding room, he has three grinding rooms.
Wow.
Each one has at least five grinders in it.
Oh, Lord.
Like, he used to have a school, right? He used to teach, but I don't think he does like one-on-one classes and smaller classes, but he doesn't do like the giant classes that he used to. But oh my God, there's grinders everywhere. The main room we were in has three disc grinders in it, just disc grinders.
Oh, Lord.
Three stand-up surface grinders.
Jeez.
Like, I'm not joking. Like, there is no lack of tools in this man's shop.
Oh, his tools got tools.
Yeah, yeah. Just unbelievable.
I'm sure he's got more than one anvil.
Oh, yeah. 12.
Jeez.
One of them is like a 400-pounder or something. Like three, yeah. They're just beautiful.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, just a beautiful shop. And Dave is such a nice guy. And we started the first day working on the frame handle buoy, and just that whole process, like cutting the frame, like the tang out of the frame, and all of that stuff, and then every step about doing that. So that was really cool. And I won't go over all the
Yeah.
things, but learned how so many little things that I learned from Dave.
More
Like,
sponge effect.
oh, more so with Dave because it was more hands-on stuff.
Right.
Like, not just okay, I've never done a frame handle buoy, but things like, oh, here I'm going to teach you how to peen pins. I've never peened pins before. Well,
Gotcha.
this is how you do it, so you don't fuck up the wood, and just the little tools and the little tricks. And here you use this acetate paper and you put a punch hole and you put it over the thing, and it's just like crazy cool stuff to learn.
Right. It's
Um,
process. Yeah. Yeah.
the whole thing was process.
Nice.
Um, like, this is the first time I've done like a really, like, I'll call it an exceptional museum fit on a knife.
Very cool.
You'll see, like, it looks amazing. Like the museum fit around it. Coining, um, doing little coin marks on the liners, and just all kinds of stuff. I'm so happy with the knife. I'm going to start posting on Instagram tomorrow, just some of the shots of the knife.
You finished it?
It's really close.
Okay.
I need to take some weight out of the handle tomorrow, just out of the handle portion, the steel portion of the handle, and then I just need to etch it and etch the knife, and then yeah, it'll be pretty much done.
Nice.
So, oh, and I got to do. Oh, sorry, I got to do work on the guard tomorrow because now they got the handle done. It's got to fit up with the guard.
Okay.
But yeah, we spent pretty much on better part of 2 days doing that. And then day 3, I was so excited about that Damascus pattern with Morocco. We actually made some Damascus. So we did 2 forge sessions on Friday. Yeah, Friday morning and then in the afternoon, making that towards that fractal pattern, which was cool. And Dave had never heard of it, so I was taking him through some of this and got to use the big power hammer. So fun.
Nice.
That thing, it's very easy to control. He does one thing where he takes, and I was kind of wondering because he's got this like bowl of walnuts. I'm like, okay, that's kind of odd. But so he takes a walnut up to the power hammer and he goes, okay, crack the nut without destroying the walnuts inside. So you
Hmm.
got to like control this huge power hammer and crack a walnut, which was kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. But we did that, and then we forged an integral out of hex stock from Maritime Knife Supply,
Cool.
a little integral hunter. So that was fun. I've never forged one on a power hammer like that before, so that was
Right.
different. And he just showed me some cool techniques for lining the bolsters and stuff like that. So it was,
Did you set the welds on the for the Damascus billet on the power hammer?
yeah. Um, he just closed up the gaps on the press in one prep, but that was before it was up even it was only like a dull red, and
So like
then
predominantly all that work was done on the power hammer?
it was a dull on the power hammer. But the
Nice.
dies on that thing are like 4x8.
Oh wow.
So it's pretty big dies.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and it was you can really get after it on that power hammer. Like it's you can really reduce steel, and every time like I still felt like it looked like the steel was still hot, like still yellow
Yeah.
when it was going back in the forge. I felt like I could have drew that thing out in 2 heats. I felt like almost, but
Wow.
we didn't want to push it. But yeah,
Damn. Cool.
yeah. And we talked about plunge lines, and he showed me how he does his plunge lines on a disc grinder, which was cool. And
Somebody else had showed me that before.
Rick
Can't
showed you
remember
that.
who. Maybe it was Rick. Somebody else. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't. It's not coming to mind. But I've heard that.
I bet it
That.
was Rick because that's something that he learned from Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
I've never done it, but I.
yeah. So this is one of those things that. So what the one the Dave will fully tell you he's an old school guy, does things the old school ways, and if you look at my knives, and I do this on purpose because I honestly no one had ever pointed out to me and say, hey, your plunge line should look like this. The ABS guys want your plunge lines, and I don't know if it's all ABS guys, but they want your plunge lines to be very sharp,
Hmm.
meaning they drop down and then there's the bevel, right? Sharp edge there. And mine swoop up, or a lot of the newer makers, their plunge line will swoop up and it's a very gradual, near the plunge line, it's a very gradual slope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave doesn't like that. Most of the old style ABS guys don't like that.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting to me. It's like, okay, are you gonna mark down on Mastersmith for doing it that
That
way?
makes sense. That makes sense. When the first time we met with Vagnino, um, he was talking about utilizing those the sanding stones
Mm-hmm.
to get in there, and you just bump into that plunge line, which you and I tend to have that radius there, and it doesn't
It's
really
not as
work.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It just slides over, and you get some weirder bumps. But if it is that sharp, 90-degree ish kind of angle there, that makes sense. That's the effect that they're going after.
Yeah. And I'm not saying one's I mean, I was told
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one's wrong, the one's right, but he's like, he fully said, hey, this is how he does it and how
Right.
most of the older school guys. But you see some of the newer makers, they do go with
Yeah.
that slope.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a bit of a conundrum. I like it
Gotcha.
the other way, but if I'm making mastersmith knives, do I have to do it the old school way?
Right.
So anyway, that's something I have to think about.
Did you
So,
know that I'm Jason Bourne?
um, in looks, in actions,
I
in
don't know, man. Lawrence put out a video, a reel not too long ago, and I think it was when he got his new shipment of steel or something like that, and it starts with the whole Jason Bourne thing, and it goes, "Holy shit, that's Jason Bourne." There's a freaking very quick second where he flashes a picture that he took of me while we were having breakfast at Blade Show in Texas a few weeks back. He sends me the reel, and he goes, "Love you, buddy." I was like, "You bastard." And I didn't know how many people saw it or if anybody
I
did
didn't
pick
see
up
it.
on it. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, holy shit, that's Jason Bourne. Really quick. And there's my fat ass sitting there eating breakfast, smiling or doing so. I don't know.
Did you call Jason Bourne on some pancakes or what?
Yeah, I did. Oh no, that was on the Baby Dutch sampler.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's probably a reference we didn't catch.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a great trip, man. It's a lot better than mine. That's for sure. I was seriously so interested to hear it. I'm glad that we didn't chat much during the time. It kind of sucks, every now and again 'cause I wanted to check in and see how things were going and that. But I think it's cool to hear. I personally enjoy the thinking about you having the opportunity that sponge effect thing. I don't know where that term's coming from, but like I like that for you. I think for somebody that gives so much information away and is in more of a position to kind of share knowledge for them to have the opportunity to receive and to kind of have that experience that you give most people. I think it's really cool, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that you did it, and and I'm glad you had a good time and you picked some, awesome people to hang out with and have a good trip. So that's really cool, dude.
And it was super fun. And if I will say it again, everyone else, I wish I would have taken a course years ago. And yeah, instead of buying that tool you're thinking about this year, go invest in some classes, and you won't be disappointed because like odds are those classes are going to push you a little forward faster than that magical tool you think you need.
Yeah,
But
I think that mindset has to be put and kept in perspective, though. Like, I don't know how beneficial a frame lock or a frame handle class with Dave would do for me right now. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I think you're
I
in a
mean education in general. I don't
yeah.
mean
Well, I'm trying to share that with everybody else. Like, have your perspective, in perspective,
sure.
to make sure that it's because I was talking to Micah last week about how I was kind of pushing how cool Makers Camp was, and like the experience at Makers Camp. Uh, don't let me like kind of downplay it, but like Makers Camp itself is there's not like this huge like life-changing experience that happens, right? But it is completely about the time you get to spend with the people and the conversations and the experiences that you get to have that make it like one of the best things that I've got to participate in. And but what I was saying was that the first year when we got to see Mareko do that knife from the micro billet, forged, finished, forged to shape, ground, the handle, like the whole thing. I I I can't tell you how much in retrospect, looking back, how much of that went completely over my head. Where I was at
Yep.
like a year into making, just starting. Like had I seen that today, it would have been entirely different amount of take I would took so much more from that class then. So like when we're talking about the pursuing education and stuff, like that's something that that's what comes up in my mind is like, take the right
Yeah.
class at the right time, where you're at, and continue to do that as you grow, and you'll find that education is never going to be out of touch with our growth, because that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah. And I'm already thinking like maybe I'll take another class in the fall. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah,
what happens. And I got a lot going on in the fall, so I don't know if that'll happen, but
cool.
we'll see.
Yeah, and you brought up Gabe from Anchorage Forge, which I'd been meaning to. I meant to last time we had our episode, but I wanted to give him a shout out and tell him thank you for. He sent me a couple things of his tiger tears is what he calls it, but it's like a special sparkling water line that he puts out because a while back I can't remember exactly where, but he's probably Hustle and Grind or something. He was talking about um, the collabs that he does with with Morocco and Josh Prince, and they do a knife collab, and then he puts out a beer with them, and the beers, the cans have that IPA cool artwork on there and stuff like that. And I heard that he had a like a sparkling water thing because I don't drink, right? So I reached out to him and we're just talking about something, and I was like, dude, I want to try them tight. And so anyways, he's so gracious enough to send me some, and I've been I got them when I had just got back from traveling, and then I was, getting ready to leave again. So this weekend, I'm going to crack one of them things open and do a reel on it. But I want to give him a shout out and tell him a huge thanks, man. I appreciate him. Super looking forward to getting smarter from drinking Tiger Tears. It's guaranteed to make you smart.
Well, you better drink 5.
Yeah, I have, I think 8. So,
And my buddy Spencer is going to have his own beer. You see that?
no, I didn't.
Yeah. Spencer's because I guess they did a collab. Him and Gabe did a collab project with some Woots. So Spencer's going to be a zombie on a can.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
Nice.
and it's like him sitting at a table because they show the picture that they went off of, and it's him sitting at a table, kind of like this, with a knife in each hand, and
Yeah.
then they show the artwork for the can, and it looks really awesome.
Yeah. He should do like a Conan, the barbarian can theme.
Right? Yeah, but that's really cool to be kind of immortalized on a can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah. That's
looking
cool.
forward to seeing it.
Yeah. So right on, Gabe. Much appreciated, dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Looking forward to trying that. Yeah. So that's kind of hard to top. So I went to Texas. I took a class for fire sprinkler design and some Revit class, and to be honest with you, it was probably the most, because I hate talking shop about my business. Like nothing bores me more than like sitting around at like a work function and people talking about business and fire sprinklers. It's not my thing. Like I do it for a living, and
Yep.
we do what we have to do. And to each his own. So some people take everything they do career wise seriously, and they enjoy it and they find joy in doing that. That's just, I'd rather talk about knives or golf or the A's getting their fucking asses whooped on their first opening night here in Sacramento right now, which is just an absolute embarrassment. They're playing in a minor league field, and yeah, they can't sell that stadium out either. And they're getting their asses whooped 16-3 right now. So
60.
16
16?
16-3, yeah.
It's like a football score.
Back-to-back home runs in the first inning. So it's, yeah. Yay, let's go wherever you're playing. So sad. But I totally forgot what I was even saying. That's how irritating that is. But I did turn the game on because I do love
You were talking
baseball.
about how boring it is to talk about work.
Yeah. Oh, so but I was nerding out in this class. Like I found the joy that I used to have when I was designing, and because being a part of a project and the creation of it and putting the system in, doing all that stuff used to be, it's fun. It's a lot funner than managing fucking 500 of them and dealing with all the dumb stuff. So it was cool to be a student, kind of in line with what you're saying, and that was cool. But I still have we went, it was like 8-9 hours in class, and then I go back to the hotel room and work for an hour or two trying to not get buried in emails and stuff like that. So there's really long ass days. But overall, like from beginning end of the trip, dude, I came home just absolutely just whooped. Like it was exhausting. But I did get to like I said, doing the class and stuff. That was cool. I had one of my younger designers with me who's just fired up for fire sprinklers, and that was cool to watch him, have the opportunity to learn from, like really knowledgeable people in our industry. Um, and then I tried like hell to get out every night and go do something, at least have dinner outside and do that. And then I did get the opportunity to hang out with our buddy Jeff Carey from Armored Up Blades. He took me to one of the coolest things that I have seen in a long time. So he has a membership to like a maker space, he calls it. It's a giant warehouse that I think he pays, I want to say $60 a month. You have 24-hour access to the building. All the tools and all the machines and stuff that are in there, like, yeah, I think you got to get like a clearance and a certification to like run a mill and a lathe without like, chopping your arms off and losing fingers and stuff. But once you
Right.
go through all that, Dennis, this place has a blacksmithing shop, a machine shop, jewelry making, neon sign making,
Oh,
3D
cool.
printing, t-shirt making, audio, like audio and visual recording studios, computer labs, woodworking shops,
It's only $60 a month.
auto shop, welding shop, freaking clay pottery, like on and on and on. It took us, he walked me through this building, probably took us 45 minutes with just a like, hey, this is due, and I've done this and I've done that. I make rings here, and I do this, and everybody in there was super nice, and he's like, yeah, there's like kind of like heads of the departments that are there predominantly, but you can go and talk to them and they'll help you out and stuff like that. Yeah, $60 a month, and you get access to this building 24 hours.
That's
You can do,
crazy.
dude. It was absolutely one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Have you ever been to the Crucible in Oakland?
Mm-mm.
So the very first time when I was talking about I wanted to start forging, I took a class at the Crucible in Oakland. It's the closest thing to this place that I have seen. I know it wasn't $60 a month, that's for sure. The class was like, I took an intro to blacksmithing, um, and I made a, a hook, a twisted hook, and that was the first time I had ever put anything in a forge and used a hammer and did all that stuff. Um, but I think after you take the class, you do have access to the facility for in certain areas and everything. That's the only thing that I've seen that's comparable to this, but um, it was amazing. And the only there's just not enough time to like kind of start anything and finish anything. But yeah, the blacksmith, there was like 3 anvils, 2 forges, a grinder. I swear there was probably 10 mills, lathes, CNC machines, like it just endless. I'm forgetting so much stuff. Like the woodworking shop was like, I don't know, I've never seen so many bandsaws in my life. Like it was
Is there a lot of people there?
yeah, it was plenty of people, and it was still not even crowded. Like everywhere had space, Like
Hmm.
it was really cool. For $60 a month, if I lived in the Dallas Fort Worth area, they would have my money for sure.
My student Christian, the one that was here for 8 days or whatever, he uses a makerspace in Alabama,
Yeah.
but his he has a little area and like a little, like, I don't know, a little 10 by 10 area that has a door that he can lock. But everything else and like outside of that is another part of his space, and everyone else has their own. So it's like
You rent shop space type thing?
you rent, but you can, anything that's in the open space is fair game.
Gotcha.
You can use it. People can use your stuff. You can use their stuff. And if you don't want it used, you lock it up in your little shed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But his is like, it's like $300 a month, but he has his own area.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool, man. There was a dude in there that pulled his truck in, was like doing a brake job on his truck in there. That's what you could do, right? You can go change your
That's
oil
really
at
cool.
this. Yeah, car lifts, and they were doing a bunch of expansions and kind of reorganizing some stuff. So it's even going to get cooler. So that was a lot of fun. That was a cool little trip, and not too far from where we were staying, or where I was staying. And then he has, because I talk about golf a lot. He said that he golfed, and we were right by like a Top Golf, and the Dallas Top Golf. They have a bunch of Top Golfs in that area, which is, I guess we have a few around here, but
San Jose
they had
and Sacramento, right?
San Jose, Sacramento.
That's it, right?
Yeah, I guess that is it.
And Tahoe.
Isn't it? Yeah, that is it. And they're not close, so maybe that does make sense. But there was some like a half an hour apart on one side of the city and one on the other. But the Dallas one has this like crazy, like putt, like 3 courses there of some like legit badass, mini golf things that I wanted to go check out and see. But then he's like, the I have a golf course right by my house that it's like executive. You ever played an executive course?
Sure. You play
Um,
the Las Positas one all the time.
yeah. So they have one that's under floodlights, and you can play at night.
There's one in
And
San Mateo like that.
that's the only one that I've
Or
ever. I've played there
Millbrae or whatever
once.
it is.
Yeah, but that's not convenient for me.
No.
It's not even convenient for you. That's a
No.
haul. Yeah.
Why, when I used to work down there, it was all right.
Exactly. That's the only time when I used to travel around the Bay Area all the time. If I was going to be, out at 4:00, 5:00 coming across, I'd go mess with that. And one time I did play at night just to do it. And yeah, so we went over went and saw his shop. He's got a tsunami that he built at that makerspace, which I thought was cool. Like you putting that stuff to use. Saw a shop and hung out for a few, and then we went to the course, and at like 8:30 at night.
That's cool.
Yeah, we walked on, and I had put my work boots on, my brunt boots, because we were going to the makerspace. I didn't know what we were going to do, right? So I only had my boots and jeans, and we walk up to the golf course, and I rented clubs, and you know how much it costs for me to fucking rent clubs, buy 3 balls, and play 9 holes?
At an executive,
Yeah,
$100.
$40.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
usually like 30, $35 just to rent clubs.
Yeah, I was like getting ready, like, and she was like $40, and I was like, "What, you got the balls too?" He's like, "Yeah." So we went out. They had, the only shitty part was that, and I say shitty because it was 8:30 at night, and I had to get up early, but they had just put away the cart, so we had to walk, and I was in boots. I was in my,
Okay.
yeah.
Look, it's an executive course. Give me a break. You didn't
It
walk
was
there.
actually no, it's about twice as big as the one at Las Positas.
Oh, really?
It was really spread out. Like,
Oh, okay. Because
yeah.
that one I consider actually a pretty big executive course. The one in Millbrae, that one's tiny.
Yeah, no, this was decent size, and there was they just have a lot of more space than we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is
Yeah.
spread out. But yeah, it was cool, man. I'm so glad that I did it. Like, and we had fun, and I golfed pretty decent for in boots and rented clubs. I shot a 47,
Oh, that's not bad.
and I took a 9 on the last hole. So I'll tell you this. So this is my only golf thing I'll say.
Would you find all the water?
No. So I have been, like there's all kinds of shit that's, weird about not playing with your your setup. You know what I mean? Somebody else's clubs and all that crap. So I normally play a draw, and everything I was hitting was blocking out to the right and not coming back. And at the very last hole, I was like, all right, fuck, I haven't hit a single draw all night. So I set up to play the draw. Fucking thing hooks out into this fucking apartment complex over there. I lose the ball. Everything goes to shit. I get all irritated and I ended up taking a 9. But yeah, it was fun, man. I had a great time. And it was just really cool to play golf at night. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
that's not normal, you know.
That's like skiing, and I love night skiing. And playing golf at night, I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
I probably played 4 or 5 times at that one in Millbrae.
Yeah. That's yeah, or San Mateo, right?
I don't know if I guess
It's 100%.
is it San Mateo? I don't know.
It's more Foster City than anything else, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, I get you. Yeah, that one's small. But yeah, that was cool. And then we had dinner and got to hang out and had some good conversations. Super cool dude. Really enjoyed the time and appreciate him coming to grab me and pick me up, and I didn't have to drive. That was cool.
So I want to know, did the blacksmithing area at the makerspace have a Two Bastards hammer? That's what I want to know.
It didn't.
Ah,
But you know what it should have?
What?
A Two Bastards fat peen hammer. 100%. Yes. That thing yeah, for $60 a month, I think, yeah, we could save up and get ourselves a fat peen all up in that business and increase the value that awesome thing has. But if you were looking for your next hammer, you'd better go and check out Frank and Nita from Two Bastards Smithy and Supply and get yourself a fat peen cross variety, diagonal variety, straight variety, curve variety is coming soon. I promise. I think maybe kind of. Actually, yeah, because for all of your peening needs, you need to make sure that you go see Frank and Nita. I have something I need to bring up from them in 1 second because I'm super prepared. Yes.
Yeah,
The first ever Lost Bastards Hammer In. Only 50 tickets are available. Go check out. There's a flyer on Facebook. I'm going to share this stuff out as well. But Franken is putting on a hammer in. There'll be raffle prizes. Jay Nielsen will be there, and some blacksmithing classes from Eland, from Lost Wood Knives, Jeff Davidson, a whole bunch of cool things. So limited spots available. It is going to be on May 3rd in Gainesville, Texas from 9 to 4 and all kinds of other cool stuff happening. So, oh shit. You know who else is going to be there?
Who? Eric
Mike,
Rivers?
Micah Dunn.
Oh.
He's going to be forging a chef knife demo from 9:30 to 11.
Mr. MD.
Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah, if you're in the area, go check it out and do the Lost Bastards hammer in.
Because ain't it grand to have a fat peen in one's hand?
Yes.
Did I steal your thunder there?
No, I love when you do it. Yeah.
You love it when I talk about the peen. I know it.
Yeah. In your hand. Just grip it and rip it, buddy. Let's go.
So what else did you do in your trip? I know you went out and talked to Mr. Micah. What else?
Yeah, that's it, dude. So on Friday, I took off from wherever the hell I was in Dallas, Fort Worth, wherever Richardson I was, a little north. The classes that I was in were longer than the other ones that I'd been in, so I didn't get done until about like 3:30. Got my stuff together, hit the road, plug in the address. 3.5 hours almost.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was all in traffic.
Oh.
Dallas got some traffic. It's very, 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 very similar to here, except more aggressive drivers. But yeah, so I didn't quite. I think it took me an hour and a half to get from his house to the airport on my way back. So it should be about 2 hours. So it was about an hour and something extra in traffic. So I didn't get over there in time for us to do anything on Friday night. Um, but had dinner with his beautiful family, um, and hung out and kind of talked about what we did. So we were talking about like wasn't really didn't have really a game plan of what we wanted to do, but I wanted to I wanted to make some Damascus with him because I love the patterns and stuff that he does. But I also wanted to like forge a knife like we did last time. And that was what I was hoping to do on Friday, but I didn't get there in time to do that. So we talked about it, and we had ended up middle of the week deciding that we were going to do a canister because I've never done one. And he's like, okay, I got some end cuts, and we'll do something cool with that. And then I get there and we start talking, and he's like, "Is he had to do some cleanup and things, and it was going to kind of be some nonsense type of stuff that wouldn't be so productive if we ended up with the canister." But so we decided to do a feather. So we forged out a feather billet in that one day, which was quite the task.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's a lot of welds.
yeah, it was a lot. But we got after it, man. We started around 8 o'clock, and again, like I said, it was the bipolar weather there was predominantly on the cooler side until the day I get in behind a forge. It got hot as shit in the afternoon. It was like 87 or something like that.
Oh,
And it's been really cool and cold, so for that big swing in the temperature and then to be, behind and at forge welding temperatures all day long, it was we were, and I was just whooped, man. Like I slept like shit when I was there. um I'm not sure why, but
I never sleep well at hotels.
yeah, and the hotel I stayed at over in his area was we call it the meth tail.
You picked a good one, huh?
Well, I didn't because I hadn't quite decided and didn't make a decision, and so I was heading over there, and I was telling Lynn, I was like, I got to get a hotel, and I so there was like a couple like a Hampton Inn and a La Quinta and some middle of the road type places. And I'm like, well, this is Stevensville, Texas. Like it can't be that much, right? These fuckers quoted me $300 a night
Holy shit!
at the La Quinta, and I was just like, oh, excuse me, come again? Like what? Excuse me, what? And so I told Lynn, babe, could you just hop on kayak and figure something out? And she sends me two of them, and I picked the more expensive.
Good thing.
Dude, it was like $70 a night, which was great. Like that's fine. I'm all good there, right? And like I just want to share, guys, that I don't. The life clean has been very good to me. Right, I've made some changes in my life that have put me in an entirely different way of living than I have experienced in my past. Right, and it was never more prevalent to me than when I walked up to the meth tail, and like my stomach started turning, and I was like, "Oh God, this is like the familiarity of the disgusting places that I used to be and the things I did back in the day." It was a good experience to kind of go through because but I walk up the stairs to my go to my room for the first time, and I hear this like whining and crying. I couldn't figure out if it was like a baby, if it was like a dying dog, or like somebody tied up and like begging to be released. Like help me.
It was Gimp from Pulp
Yeah,
Fiction.
yeah, it was something, dude. I was just like my wheels were spinning. I go up the stairs and I walk down the hall to my room, and sure as shit, this whatever's coming out of this room is the fucking room right across the hall from me. And I'm pretty positive there was some tweakers there that had left their dogs and they were just, yelping and crying. And I only say that they were tweakers because uh the walls and everything were like paper thin, and I can hear them all night going in and out, in and out, and out. The dogs shut up though eventually, but yeah, the room was exciting to say the least. And so yeah, I didn't sleep good there. The other place I stayed was really nice, but yeah.
When the
Anyway,
company was paying.
huh?
When the company was paying.
Yeah, exactly. Jerid's cheap. But yeah, it wasn't horrible, but it was just funny, like the emotions and the things that I went through, because like I said, I used to be fond of those places. But yeah, anyways, we got there, and we knocked that billet out, man. And Micah's such a great host. Like, again, man, I'm encouraging you. Dennis has already said it here. Taking classes with people, but Micah's, I highly recommend that he moves forward with that avenue of something that he offers, because he's just such a chill dude, gives really cool instructions. Like, it's kind of like what you're saying, like I didn't need much instruction on how to make C's and W's and things like that, but I hadn't done a feather, right? And then using someone else's equipment too. Like, the only press that I'm comfortable behind is yours, right? So but his is a Riverside.
Yeah, I've used. That's what Kelly used to have, I think.
It's the one where you push down and you get action up, and then when you let off, it
Yeah,
it starts to retract. So trying to get that rhythm going was a little interesting at first. But the when we started getting to the split, when I split the feather, that was stressful as fuck, dude.
always is.
I
Never, it
I
never
could
gets better.
I could tell you, yeah, like, but I had him and I'm gonna bring up Jake here in a second, but he had a guy that works out of his shop. We're super cool, man, and we had a blast though. But it was a lot of work. We were just like nonstop, like from one well, cleaning, cutting, grinding, back into the forge, back out, go take a break to freaking cool down for a minute. It was a lot of fun, man. And when I left, we'd split it and then forged it back together, and then it went in the oven for annealing that night. So he's just got to do whatever, draw it out, and then split
He's
it up,
probably slicing
and then
billets.
he's gonna,
Yeah, he
yeah.
sliced. That's why he's annealing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And then you got to draw out that. Yeah,
so that's all. That's the only that we got to the anneal stage in that day. So, but man, it was a blast, dude, and just super. Mike is he's one of the good ones, man. Just such a cool dude. Like I said, great family, and I had a blast. And it was kind of shitty that being there for 7 days and only getting basically like a day to hang out and do that was kind of criminal to me. But
well, you were there for work too, right?
yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot funner to just be running around taking classes and giving classes. Just saying.
yeah, yeah. It is. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well, good. Sounds like you had a good trip.
Yeah. It was cool.
Good end of the trip then.
Yeah. But I missed my family. That was it was
I,
it was a long time
I,
away.
I was thinking like it was like after day one, working with Morocco. And like I think back when like a 7 day vacation in Mexico, like feels like a long time. I'm like, holy shit, I still have like 5 days to go. And,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is a really long time. I don't think I would do it this long next time.
Yeah.
Gone for
I
seven
don't
days.
if you're going to cram in as much as you did, that probably from that moment though to when it was over, it probably went really quick.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It was there was a lot of driving because like I was at a I, it felt like a lot of traveling because every 2 days I was in a different hotel.
Right.
And there was a lot of driving. I put a lot of miles on that car. But it was fine. I wasn't, you know, it was good to, see a bit of Washington and some nice country. So that was good.
Yeah, and Texas, I want to say Texas is gorgeous, but like to me the the vibe and the atmosphere is just it's so spacious, dude. Like especially when you got out of the city of Fort Worth and Dallas, like just driving, like it's just I don't know how to. I mean, it may sound crazy, but we live in a very, very highly populated, dense, like everything's on top of each other everywhere you go, and then to just get on until you get out, out across the hill over the Altamont and shit like that, then it kind of opens up. But I don't go out that way much. But just how vast, how much space is out there, and like it was cool. I enjoy that. It was a nice drive once I got into the countryside, and um, I I I felt a lot safe there. I saw a lot of people carrying. It was cool.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, from here, I was thinking, from here, you would have to drive probably an hour and a half to get to a point where you couldn't see another building,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and you'd have to be on the one highway that allows you to do that.
Like 120 or 88 or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
even then, like an hour and a half is probably pushing
Oh
it.
yeah, in the mountains.
You'd
Yeah.
have to really probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
For real. Yeah.
well, actually, yeah, that's true. Actually, I was thinking, oh, because I'm going hunting on Wednesday, weather permitting, and I'm thinking, oh no, even where I go hunting, I can see a house. So no, that doesn't work either.
yeah. No. There's shit everywhere, but yeah, it was cool. Um but yeah, that was a long time away. I was ready to come home for
Yeah,
sure.
I really was too. When I got home, so my flight was like 5:45 a.m. on Saturday. But the nice thing is I was home by 7:45. So I was back home before 9 because it was out of Oakland. And we
It's a
did
quick flight.
yeah, we did nothing all weekend. Like, and only because we took the dog for a walk at like 6 p.m. Otherwise, I was in my pajamas all day on Sunday. Like, we
Dude.
did nothing but watch movies and lie on the couch. I really needed that.
Oh my god.
What?
17-3.
Oh,
And
you're
somebody just hit for the cycle.
oh,
Goodness
I don't know
gracious.
what that means, but I guess your
You
team
don't know what
sucked.
hitting for the cycle is?
Oh, is there a bicycle on the field? I don't know what that means.
Oh man. So in baseball, one of the best hitting days you can have is you hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Oh, baseball talk. So enthralling.
It's great. It's almost like you talking about doing nothing at home.
I did get into the shop today. I put a good day in the shop. That's why I made some progress on that knife. Uh, until my daughter called and said she had a flat tire. I had to go rescue her.
Oh.
Yeah, but
You know what? If she had grip tech on those tires,
I know.
they would never pop.
Yeah, that's what we should have done. Put some grip tech.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't ever want your tires to pop, I don't know how this goes together here, but if you're looking for some grippy handle material, go check out our buddy Matt at Rock Solid Scales and get your hands on some of that grip tech and all the other awesome handle material that he has. You'll have a grip tech knife this weekend.
Oh, well, you keep saying that. I'm waiting.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm stoked. I mean, to yes, rock solid scales, grip tech, handle material, everything you need there. Go check out Matt. You can use the discount code Triple T10 for 10% off. We just had a listener, and I don't have it available here that got some Baker Forged Steel, some grip tech handle material. He shouted us out and said, he used the codes and
Nice.
yeah, that was really cool to see. So be like that guy.
Do it.
Do it. But yeah, I'm inspired. I'm motivated too. Like having been so busy and not being able to get in the shop. Like I have the itch better than I've had in a long time. It's the the time with Micah, then before I left, when we were doing the handle fit up on that chef knife too. So like, um, I don't have anything going on this weekend, so it's gonna be a shop time. So
Well, this is my last free weekend. I have classes for the next after this weekend for 3 weekends, and then my wife's birthday, and we're going to Disneyland, and then I have more classes in May, and I'll be ramping up for Blade Show by then. I'm
yeah,
already panicking.
that was on my list too as well. 18-3. Jesus, we suck.
We got to get those flights booked for.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna finish up that handle and get that thing all squared up, and then when I'm done, I'm obviously gonna coat that thing up with our my premium wax of choice, which I know is yours as well. That's
Right.
Pelican Paste. Pelican Paste, Travis Haynes, Bird Forge. You're in the market to wax up your grip. Go check him out. He's got hard wax, soft wax, Pelican oil, hand solve, hand soap, and all kinds of other good stuff.
And it smells like oranges. You can't go wrong.
It smells like freaking oranges.
I'm going to be using it. Hopefully, if I finish this frame handle buoy tomorrow, I'll be lathering it up with some nice orange smelling wax tomorrow.
We can be using that paste porn. I love it. Triple T10 will get you 10% off that cart once you load it up. That's TTT10 for 10% off. So,
yeah. Hey, let's do some maker spotlights.
I love this.
My maker spotlight this week is my buddy Steve Lockhart that I visited in Washington. So he is at lockhart.knifeworks. And he's got a cool, I did appreciate his maker's mark, which is a lock and a heart, Lockhart. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You'll see the knife that he made up that we made together, or he made, I should say, two of them actually. The if you're looking at his profile, the third one, the chef knife with the I don't know if it's ironwood or Coca-Cola. That one, we actually worked on that the second day, and he accidentally blew through the handle, so we couldn't finish that one. But he rehandled it, and it looks really good. But yeah, he does a lot of chef knives. He's a big fishing guy, so he does a lot of fillet knives. So yeah, go check him out at lockhart.knifeworks.
Yeah, he's got that old style tattoo-ish maker's mark. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and just an overall good dude.
Yeah, I agree. So my maker's spotlight is a kid that I met at while I was at Micah's house, who's kind of working out of Micah's shop for a while he's in school over there in Micah's town. Jake Anstedt from Anstedt Forge. That's ANSTAETT Forge on Instagram. He's got 1,037 followers. This kid is doing he's doing the thing. Really beautiful stuff. And I think he was like 22, 23 years old. And he was probably there half the day, working on a mosaic, his first mosaic billet.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was looking great. But man, you'd say a 23-year-old kid, and my experience with most people that age are, it's pretty daunting. I feel bad for the future sometimes. What an outstanding young man! Like, just super good, was able to like, just the small things, like look you in your eyes and have a conversation, shake your hand, just hold a conversation, getting out of college, going into, a new job, making really awesome work, man. Just a pleasure to meet a kid like that, man. I'm just excited for what he's going to be doing there. But so I wanted to give him a shout out. He's ABS apprentice. I think he won like a best chef knife at Texas Select in 24 too.
Yeah. And he's a Forge and Fire champion too.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, he's so humble. He didn't even tell me. Yeah.
It's in his profile. In his
Oh yeah, I see that. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, well, there you go. So check him out, Jake Anstead Forge. Really cool dude, and I wanted to give him a shout out. So go show him some love and give him a follow.
He's got some beautiful knives.
Yeah, really does.
Beautiful. Oh, cool. And I see Micah on his profile there.
Where?
Oh, it's down a ways.
Oh, his profile, he's in Forged and Fire. I didn't even pick up on that. See? Cool. Yeah,
I just gave him a follow.
Yeah, good for you. Listener of the show, so good deal. All
right,
bro. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm ready to get. I'm already. I'm going to go back down to the shop right now, but it's 10 p.m. at night, so I don't think I will. But
yeah,
early tomorrow, back at it. Want to finish that knife?
Yes.
Wait, tomorrow is
Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday. Tuesday.
It'll be Tuesday all day. If you want to tell everybody you're pregnant, I support you.
No.
All right.
All right. I'm done with you.
Same.
Bye.
Try me, bitch.
And that's a wrap.